Do you like your job? If the answer is yes, then you're in the minority. In a survey done by Gallup in 2013, it was found that 63% of Americans don't feel involved or interested in their jobs, and an additional 24% actually hate them. And yet, despite all this disengagement with our work, we don't seem to do anything about it. Many of us resolve to quit our lame job and launch a more fulfilling career. Many of us don't try to change our jobs even if we hate them, because we're afraid of change. But it doesn't have to be this way. This summary will show you how to transform your life and become someone who, unafraid of change, is always on the lookout for a better, more fulfilling career. Point number 1. You can always start over in your career. There's no need to be scared. Do you enjoy Monday mornings? Do you jump out of bed excited to start another great week of work at your fantastic office with your awesome colleagues? It's not unlikely that you are, and most other people's answer to that is a resounding no. Actually, around 70% of Americans said they didn't like their jobs or felt disconnected, according to a 2013 Gallup poll. If you're someone who looks forward to the weekend, maybe it's time for a fresh start. That means completely changing your career direction. Even though change can be scary, it can also make our lives much better. For instance, when the author started freelancing, he had the freedom to set his own schedule and do more creative work. It took courage to make that first change, but clearly it was worth it. Maybe you can think about the good things that a fresh start in your career could bring. But if you're not feeling brave enough to do it yet, there's a way to help yourself feel more ready. It's like building up a savings account for your career. So, how do you start your career savings account, or CSA? Your CSA is basically your abilities. It's about how well you can build good relationships, learn new skills, become a better person, and work hard at your job. Your career savings account is like a toolkit that can help you during tough times when you're changing careers. Not everyone goes through the same kind of changes, but there are 4 main types of transitions when you can start fresh. To help you understand what skills and tools to put in your CSA, we'll look at all 4 types of transitions, starting with what seems like a dead end, the career bump. Point number 2. Build a supportive network to tackle any career bump. Sometimes our career hits a standstill. Maybe you get laid off, or perhaps after graduating college, you spend months searching for work with no luck. Such career bumps are hard to overcome, especially if you're not sure who to turn to. So, it's vital to cultivate supportive and dependable relationships. That way you'll be prepared to cope with a career bump before it happens. Even by taking stock of those people with whom you already have a relationship, don't only count your current co-workers, include people from previous workplaces too, as well as your friends and acquaintances. What kind of relationships are these? It's crucial to distinguish between different types of relationships, so you can differentiate between your friends and foes. Many of us have foes, people who hinder our progress, and often do so in subtle ways we may not immediately recognize. For instance, a friend who keeps you out late at a bar could negatively impact your productivity. So, how can you tell if some of your friends are actually foes? Try asking yourself, who do I know that has experience and wisdom to offer about the world of work? Whoever fits the bill is someone you'll want to build a strong relationship with. These are your friends, and also perhaps your advocates. Our advocates provide insight and help to untangle tough decisions by proffering considered advice. Based on the other hand, support your decisions, as well as motivate and inspire you with their own career choices. Friends and advocates can help you deal with tough situations now, or they may be of help at some point further down the track. But remember, friendship is a two-way street. Give back to these people when they need help or are going through a tough time transitioning. Stay in touch, and if you go your separate ways, remain on good terms. By supporting them, you can ensure they'll be there for you when you encounter a career obstacle of your own. Point number 3. Break through your career ceiling with new skills. Imagine you have a steady job, everything seems okay, and there's nothing to complain about. Except, you're not satisfied and feel stuck. When we can't picture a better job for ourselves, we've hit a career ceiling. But there are ways to overcome this barrier. How? It's about your skills. Ask yourself, what am I good at? If you draw a blank after listing just a handful of your abilities, it's time to think a little harder. You may have a lot of invisible skills, abilities that you may not recognize as strengths, but which are nevertheless incredibly useful. Say you're good at organizing dinner parties. This quality might not seem like anything special at first, but think about it. It also reflects your general organizational talent. That's a strength you shouldn't neglect. Reevaluate your own skills will give you the attitude boost you need in order to truly envision yourself creating change in your career. But now that you can visualize change, perhaps you've spotted a few things missing from the picture. Are there new skills that would benefit you? If so, then don't wait to go out there and learn them. Not only will they bolster your resume, they might also lead you on new adventures. Think about Alex Atala, a Brazilian immigrant who arrived in Europe with little on his resume. He started working in a restaurant, one of the few places he could find a job. By starting from scratch, he developed new skills that led him to open his own restaurant. Atala's restaurant was even voted the 7th best in the San Pellegrino list of the world's 50 best restaurants. His story shows that investing in new skills can really pay off. Point number 4. Hit the ground running in your career jump by investing in your character. Perhaps after improving your skills, you decide that you don't simply want to move up in your industry. Instead, you'd like to create an even bigger change by starting your very own enterprise. You're looking at a career jump, and in order to make the leap, you'll need to work on your character. Having a strong character helps you build better relationships and leave a lasting impression on people you care about. But be careful, negative impressions are worse than no impression at all. Your co-workers won't forget negative traits easily. Remember that former colleague who always expected the worst. Did you forget she made great cakes too? Negative traits can cancel out positive ones if you're not careful. But if you work hard to keep negative traits like narcissism, dishonesty, and pessimism away, your positive traits will shine through. So what characteristics should we be building up? The top 3 are generosity, empathy, and presence. Generosity is vital in creating loyalty and trust. Say you're a boss that's just received free tickets to a football game. You'd love to go, but you also know your employee would too. Why not simply pass them on to him and you can catch the game on TV? It's a small gesture, but you'll have guaranteed his loyalty, as well as his support in future ventures. Empathy, which is understanding others' needs and acting accordingly, and presence, which is paying attention, are crucial as you navigate new relationships, opportunities, and challenges in your career change. So, where should you begin? It's simple. Put away your phone, look your coworker in the eye, and truly listen when they talk about their family. Point number 5. Hustle your way to a career opportunity. It might be a bit of a stretch, but imagine this for a moment. Your boss unexpectedly announces that he's moving to Hawaii. This means that you'll get his position, your dream job. Right now, you're in the middle of a fantastic career opportunity, so how can you make sure you grab it? You've got to have grit and hustle. Whatever images the word grit brings to mind, within this context, it means making the conscious decision to overcome your fear of the unknown and to work hard to achieve your goals. This means ignoring questions like, what if I don't have what it takes? Or what if I miss another opportunity? Grit helps you push aside self-doubt and pursue your dreams, like becoming a full-time swing dance instructor, even if you worry that swing dancing is just a trend. With grit, let's talk about your hustle. Hustle is the drive to achieve your goals in your career. It does need some flexibility, though. Remember, you don't need to be perfect at your job from the outset, but you do need to actively try your best and engage with learning. So simply rigidly holding on to your initial expectations won't work. Doing that prevents growth. If you're open to new opportunities, be prepared for surprises and welcome them when they come. For example, a decade ago, publishing books was mainly done through publishing houses. Then, the internet emerged, offering new ways for authors to succeed. Also, the amount of effort you need to put in varies at different times. Some periods may not need much hustle, while others, like preparing for a job interview or exams, require you to work harder. So keep those seasons in mind, and your hustle won't let you down. You've just heard the points in To Do Over by John A. Cuff. The key message in this book is that to deal with any career bumps, jumps, ceilings, and opportunities you encounter, just remember the acronym SHINS. Find a supportive network, hustle for new opportunities, invest in your career, and acquire new skills. Last thing, we'd sure love to hear what you think about our content. Post in the comments below.